Hi guys, Tracy here with another recap video. It's not quite the end of June, but it is the end of scrapbooking for June for me. I won't be available to do any scrapbooking until into July now, so I thought I would get my recap video out of the way. So I was a little bit more productive in June than I was in May. I'm feeling much better. Thank you guys for all of your questions and concerns. I'm doing great. So I thought I would start this recap by talking about this layout which I just created. This one is called Bless This Mess. I was going to call it House plus Love equals Home, but Bless This Mess I guess sounds more like a good title than the other, and it is in the center, so even though it's smaller, I thought that it made a pretty good title. Not all of your layouts even really have to have titles, but I just like to call it something on my Flickr account and in my titles of my Pinterest and shares and that sort of thing. So this was a layout that I created for scrapbooking cards today. So the process video for this one is not actually on my channel, but I will link it in as a card in the top right hand corner of your screen right now. And if you're watching on a device that doesn't have that, then check out the information section below. There will be a link to the Find Your Mojo process video where I create this page. So the prompt this month is to use a photo collage to get you going. And so in this particular page, I started with this collage. There was another another photo, but I just scooched everything in to end up covering up the photo. It was just a photo of boxes. It wasn't very nice and it didn't really add that much to the page. So I ended up just covering it up so that the page would look a little bit better and fit better with my with what I had in mind in my vision for it. And so for this one, I used the structure of the collage and the real boxiness of it to provide me a base from which I could be really messy and unstructured with my embellishing. And so this page is embellished in quite a bit of a messier way than my typical style. And one thing that is particularly different from the other layouts that I usually do where I do a lot of embellishing is usually I don't just kind of like messily float out stickers like this. I might put, like, I like to have all my stickers and embellishments kind of have what I call a home. And so I could imagine me putting like something large and maybe like a scallop circle or a heart or something behind there, and then having these stickers on top of those so that they have a home to live in. But in this case, I was actually trying to tell a story about things being pretty messy, as you can see in this photo right here. And so I actually wanted the design of this page to tell some of my story. And so as you flip through the pages of my scrapbook, this one will stand out as being a little bit messier, and it tells a story about what a mess our house was in and how much work we had to do that day on the project that I talk about in the journaling. And so I did want my embellishing to be a little on the messy side, so I floated these two clothespins here instead of putting them lined up, and I kind of did some layering and floated some things off into the background. And one of the things that makes that look work a little bit better is if you repeat elements from cluster to cluster, because it kind of brings it in. And I also use this really strong black border around the structure of my collage to again kind of like tighten it up and bring it in. That gives me a little bit more leeway with being more whimsical and random with my embellishments and not have the page look like just a big giant hot mess. I don't think it looks like a hot mess anyways. I kind of like this page. So anyhow, if you're interested in seeing how this page came together, please hop over to the Scrapbooking Cards Today YouTube channel and their blog, because the video is over there. Then I have this page called 70th Birthday Bash. And this is a page, another page from my ongoing scrapbooking of the I don't think I did any others this month, but I've been, oh yeah, there's our pool, feels like our pool. Yeah, so we went away to New Glasgow for a weekend to celebrate Brian's birthday, meet the Sons of Maxwell, go to a house concert. We also stayed at the Holiday Inn Express, and we were able to snag the family room, and they only have a couple family rooms, and so the hotel overall room itself is actually quite interesting, and also we're kind of coming to love the pool and feel like it's our pool. So I have a lot to scrapbook about this one particular weekend, and this is just one of the pages. And I do have more to say about this party. I have at least one more page and a half to scrapbook about this night, so there will be more coming up about this event. This, I use the hip kit from the month of May, and I just love this page. It's really great masculine page, and it's really great Brian page. I feel like this page really reminds me of the night, and I think that this page accomplished everything that I wanted it to from a storytelling perspective, so I'm really, really pleased with this one in particular. The process video for this one is on my channel. Then I have this one, which I did during a live stream, I think. Yes, I did this while I was live streaming with my Patreon. So every month, technically, I've kind of agreed to do a live stream every other month for my patrons, but I love doing it so much that I'm trying to do it every month. I will definitely do it every 2 months, and I'm trying to do it every month for them. And so so this is what I did for the month of May, and this is the second one that I've done with them. And I really love, if you guys don't know about Patreon, it's an opportunity for people to be able to give almost like a tip to the content creators that you like and want to support, and it just is another way for YouTube content creators to make a little bit more money. The YouTube AdSense is a little kind of random in terms of how you make your money on YouTube, and it's a little bit unpredictable, so it's really nice for content creators to have another option to have a bit more of a steady income coming in to support the creation of these videos, which are not, you know, cheap or easy to make. So this one is called When in Doubt, Sketch It Out, and I did it live streaming, but I also made a process video afterwards. So I captured it twice. I captured it with my streaming camera, but I also recorded it with my regular camera and put together a little process video about it as well. And I did cut out a lot of because this obviously took a long time just adding sequins to this, so it wasn't the most exciting, but we were chatting and stuff as we went along. I just cut all that out of the video so that the video would be a little bit more interesting for you guys to watch who didn't see the live stream. So I really love this one, and this is just an older photo of my daughter sketching out a picture of Edward Cullen. And then this one says Happy Heart, and this one was using the hip kit. I think that one was using the hip kit too. Yep, that one was using the May hip kit. This one is using the May hip kit as well, and this one, oh my goodness, I love this page. This one I really went to town with embellishing. I had so much fun embellishing this page, and it captures my daughter, the story of my daughter winning a cake. Finally! We've been going to the cakewalk and trying to win it. It's like one of the events in our spring fair, in the spring fling. Oh, that little sticker disconnected from my page. There we go. And she finally won. We've been going to it for 7 years, and it was so nice that she finally won. Also, it was Olivia's birthday that weekend, so she ended up giving it to her sister. Isn't she a sweetheart? She's a really sweet girl. So anyhow, the process video for this one is on my channel. And then this is one, I think that this process video was for my chipboard patrons. Yeah, I believe that this one, there might not be a process video for this one. I think this was for my patrons only. So I do create a separate, usually a process video, but I create some video that's exclusive just to my chipboard tiaras and above who support me over on Patreon. And that's just a little way that I can say thank you to people who support me every month. And I think I lost a little sticker from there. Anyhow, this is a page that you guys would not have seen the process video for, so I'll show it to you up close a little bit. This one, oh, I did put a video on Instagram that captures a few parts of this one. So my sewing machine, the tension wasn't quite right, and this is more of like a wave than a real zigzag, but it kind of fits with the theme of the pool and swimming. And so this was a zigzag that was I think this was already cut out from another project that I was doing. I can't remember. No, I think I might have cut it out for this project. I can't quite remember. But I just cut out the zigzags and kind of then structured the page around those zigzags with the photo over here. Very little embellishing on this one. Very little embellishing. I just put 2 flowers, a tab, and layered a couple of, this is all one die cut, and I added some enamel dots to it for interest and a couple of puffy stickers around it. And then the title here feels like our pool, and then a little car because we took a road trip. And I journaled along the chevrons, and I love doing that. I haven't done it for a while, and I've been revisiting a couple of different things that I haven't done for a long time, and I'm really loving it. So the journaling kind of goes zigzaggy up and down. It says, the past several times we've gone to New Glasgow, we've made it an overnight trip and stayed at the Holiday Inn Express in Stellarton. Staying overnight means I get less tired from the trip and the kids get to play in the pool. We've been here so often recently that it's starting to feel like it's our pool. We love having more relaxed visits and being able to focus on family while in PC, which is Pictou County. This was using the hip kit from the month of May, and very, very basic design with just 2 layers under the photo and then minimal embellishing around it. All items from the hip kit. And I did mention that I'm kind of revisiting a few different things, and the other thing that I'm revisiting is this thing that I used to do when I first started scrapbooking. When I outlined things, I would do this like broken outline where I would put these 5 dots or sometimes 3 dots or sometimes just random amounts of dots. And I did that with this one, and I really like how that looks, and I positioned them so that the dots are around where my embellishment clusters are, so it's just kind of another way to accentuate where your clusters end up falling. So I did a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, is that all one? Yeah, 4, 5. So I did a total of 5 pages this month. So that's not too bad. I try to do at least 1 a week. A really great month would be 6 or 7 layouts in a month because I do have a full-time job, and I have a family and I need to sleep. So anyhow, I got 5 done this month, so that's an improvement. I'm happy about that. Plus, I also got 3 pages done in my little traveler's notebook insert. This is my little book. I'm going to call it Raw, I think, and it's going to be where I put my raw ideas, both visual and verbal, and so it's going to be just kind of like playing around with things. It might not always be very pretty, and it might not be technically well designed or anything, but just kind of like a place for me to dump ideas and to play around with different color combinations and design ideas. And then the idea is that it helps me to journal, and then it also gives me a place where I've got all of my thoughts that I can then draw upon and maybe make some of these pages into proper scrapbook pages or mini album, or maybe just leave it as is and just leave it in here. Because the reason I'm doing this is that I've been a journaler most of my life, and my journals, I have this really bad habit of journaling in a million different places. Like instead of having one journal, I have 3 or 4 journals, plus I do some on my phone, plus if I'm at work and I don't have a journal with me, I'll just journal on a piece of scrap paper, and then I end up like throwing away my journal entries and half of them, and they're all like disjointed, and it's a bit of a disaster. I'm not the most organized person in the world, so I figured if I have a traveler's notebook that I can just try to focus my journaling so it all lands here, and then if some artwork lands here too, that's great. But my main purpose here is to journal. So anyhow, I have a process video about this page and how it came together. The process for this one is on my Patreon, so you can't see the process for this one, so I will show it in a little bit more detail. I stamped some circles around, and this was an idea that I had kind of floating around. It's based on something that I say to some of my clients about juggling balls and how, like, taking care of yourself. There's a lot of different balls in the air that you have to juggle when you're taking good care of yourself. And if you kind of like crash for a little while, whether it's a depressive episode or if you have a time where you're sick and everything just kind of falls apart in your life for a little while, which happened to me recently, you can't expect yourself to just throw all the balls up in the air and just start juggling, because even an experienced juggler doesn't juggle that way. They start with 2 or 3 and they get it going, and then they grab another one and add it in, and then they grab another one and add it in. And so I wanted to journal about that because I felt like that was some advice that I had been giving other people that I really needed to take myself. So I have these balls, I just doodled, like, really in a scribbly way, all the balls, not all of them, but some of the balls that I have to keep up in the air, like work, family stuff, exercise, housework, YouTube, layouts, and friends. And then I journaled in the middle and just did a little bit of mixed media layering with some stencils. And I did this at work. And I also watercolored a sticker from Vicky Bouton's watercolor sticker set. And I kind of felt like this ray, these are all of the stencils on this are from those Tim Holtz tag stencils. And I layered a little tiny circle one, a heart one, and then those rays. I think you guys might know what that stencil looks like. It's a really popular one. And I thought that these rays looked a little bit like fingers. I kind of played with the idea of maybe trying to draw some hands, but I'm not very good at drawing, so I thought I'd go kind of abstract here and make it look like these are like 2 hands that are juggling. There's 6 fingers on this hand though, so it's not exact. But my journaling just talks about what I just said. So that's how this page looks. I really love how the mixed media layered with each other here, all the different layers on top of one another. With the last layer I did was the texture paste with the hearts. I like how it kind of picked up some of the mist from underneath. That was actually these hearts are over the pink, these pink rays of sunshine. And the coloring was so, these are mermaid markers, and the coloring was so vivid it actually sucked right up into the mixed media, like into the texture paste. Sorry. And then this is a really quick page that I did the same day. I had done this journaling, but I hadn't art journaled it, so I just did I had a break at work and did this page, and then I squeezed in another page. And you guys would have seen the process video for this one. It is on my channel, so that's another chance to look at that one up close. And there's the journaling for that. I don't think I mentioned it in my video. And sometimes I won't, like sometimes my journaling is pretty private, but sometimes it's not. So also, I have a little basket of cards here that I still haven't sent out. I have to send these out. Anyhow, I did a whole bunch of cards this month too, so I thought I'd bring those out. If I'm doing a recap, I have to include the cards that I made. So thanks so much for watching me, and thank you so much for supporting my channel in whatever way you support it, whether you're supporting me over on Patreon, or if you're not, that's completely okay. You guys have no idea how much it means to me when I receive your kind comments all through the day. They come up on my phone and just remind me how wonderful the scrapbooking community is. And also it's just really helpful for me. Even if you want to support me financially, a good way of doing that is liking and commenting and watching my videos and subscribing, because those drive up my numbers and they really, really do make a difference. And they help me be able to buy the supplies I need, buy even kind of like behind the scenes technical things that I need, like light bulbs for my lights and cards for my video cameras. And I'm constantly kind of tweaking my video process and trying to make my videos be as good as they can possibly be with multiple angles when I think that that's helpful and all those sorts of things. So I really do appreciate you guys watching. So yay for you guys. Take care and have a really great scrappy week.